Hello there, Andrew Jobling, the accidental author, and Adam Wallace, the master of disruption.
Oh, I was wondering what you were going to say. I liked it.
What did I call it the other day? It was like Alexander the Great. It was Wally the Disruptor. Wally the Disruptor. Hello there, everyone. We're sitting on my couch, and Adam's, you can see, he's got his arm around me, and we're getting a little bit cozy. For those of you that don't know, of course, you know this man. Adam Wallace is a New York Times best-selling author. We've done a couple of live videos on. We've been playing around with Facebook Live and Instagram Live, so we're so technologically.
I think you'd say great. I thought we were going to just lie, but no, we were pretty average, but we got it done. We got there. We had a crack, and who knows?
We entertained some people.
We did.
They laughed at us, not with us. They laughed at us.
Yeah.
But this month, I wanted to. He's here, so I thought, well, let's do this. And he's in a bit of a hurry because he's got to get out of here and get to Werribee shortly. But we thought we would have a quick chat and say hello. Hello. Okay. See you next time. Bye. No, we want to talk about disruption. And there's a reason why we want to talk about disruption. There's a couple of reasons, actually. Number one reason is because I believe the only way you're going to live your best life is you've got to disrupt the status quo.
Yep. Absolutely.
You can't do what everyone else is doing, because if you do, you'll end up with what everyone else has got. And if you look around the world and see what most people have got, you go, I don't want that.
I don't want that.
And I said that a long time ago. I said, I don't want what most people have. And hence, the decision to become an author was a pretty crazy and logical one. We'll talk about that. And Wally, yours was too, really, wasn't it? I mean, English was a battle for you like it was for me. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I was almost failed year 12 English and became an engineer and was in that status quo. You say potato,
I say potato.
Potato quo. I was in that, and I was doing the 9 to 5 or more, and I was earning the steady wage, and I was in a job I didn't really enjoy, which meant I didn't want to go further, which meant I was stuck in the job I didn't enjoy, and was on that treadmill, on that hamster wheel. So yeah, had to make a decision and a change somewhere, or would have just stayed in it for another 40 years.
Can you imagine that? Okay. I don't know, guys. I want just stop right now. This is just a good time to stop and reflect, because I look back and go, if I was personal training, I'd done it for 15 years, and I was so over it. 5 a.m. starts, 9 p.m. finishes, and I cannot even imagine. I don't even know if I'd still be here, because that was 20 years ago when I made the decision to write my first book. I just don't know if I'd still be here. And if I was still here on this alternate path, I would be miserable. I'd be cranky. I'd be like most people out there. I'd probably be unhealthy. I'd have a big red nose and a bald head and a big gut and struggling.
There's anything wrong with the bald head, by the way?
Nothing at all, actually. My hairline is definitely receding, mate, so I'm not far behind you, I don't think.
Was it a snap for you? Like, was it a snap decision where you went, I can't do this anymore? Or was it like a gradual?
Well, I think $100,000 in debt is a pretty good indicator that things need to change. Yep. And working 7 days a week, working over 100 hours and feeling miserable and depressed and anxious, it was a snap decision after all that stuff culminated to the point where I was just in the worst, darkest place. And I knew I couldn't make a logical decision. I don't know. Logically, I knew I had to be illogical. Does that make any sense?
Well, logically it does, yeah.
Or illogically, whichever way.
No, it does. But sometimes it doesn't have to make sense either. Like, sometimes it's just putting the thoughts out there and doing the things and then going.
So I guess the first piece of the disruption is thinking about not thinking about what do I want to do, but thinking about what result do I want to get.
How do I want to feel?
And then logically you can work out how to get that result. You don't have to have the answers. What do you say, mate? There's some saying about when your why is strong enough.
If your why is strong enough, it can overcome any how.
So in other words, if you know what you want, you don't have to know how to do it, because you'll always find a way. And we're both examples of that. Now, Wally's published, about 130, 140 books?
150, I think, yeah.
Well, like every day it's different. I think he publishes about 12 books a day. And he sold over 5 million copies. 5 million! I know I've said that before to you guys. You know that. But that's just a mind-blowing number of books. Yeah. And you might think, well, how could anyone ever sell 5 million books? Well, you start. You start with a different goal. You actually think that It's possible, because I think, and that's the disruptive thing, isn't it? Like, I think most people, they think about what they can't do or what's not possible, rather than go, well, what is possible?
Yeah, or what they don't want. But then if people ask, what do you want then? They're like, I don't know. Or they don't want to say it out loud because they might seem a bit silly. And you got to kind of seem a bit silly. You got to, I remember my dad, I was talking to Dad about this the other day, that when I'd quit engineering, I'd also got my teaching degree, I'd quit teaching, and I was going to do the books full time. And my dad said, like, I really support you. This is fantastic. Found this job for engineering in the paper the other day and wanted to protect me, wanted to keep me safe and have that steady income and be part of that potato quo as well.
I think you would remember that.
If I hadn't have made that change and hadn't taken that chance, and my income did it more than halved. Like, it dropped right down when I sort of quit all that stuff. But it was worth it. And who would have thought you could sell 5 million? Not me. I remember once I had a screensaver, which was 1 million books just going across every time my computer off, it would go across. And I thought, if that's where I want to get, I don't know how. And again, I don't know how I'm going to get there. It's not going to be selling one book at a time at the market, but I didn't even understand the connections that would happen as I went along.
The deal is, disruption is just breaking a pattern, a normal routine, a normal pattern. And I think everything that we think about comes about, and everything that we do over time creates a routine or a habit that will lead to a predictable result. I mean, you've heard me talk about this ad nauseum. You've also heard me say it's not about the book, but you've got to get clear, really, really clear about what you want, and you have to remove logic. Please get rid of. And some of you watching this going, oh my gosh, that's scary. You know, I have to have all the answers before I launch into something. No, don't. Trust me, you do not. Neither Adam or I had the answers.
Still don't.
And still don't. But we just trust the process. We have faith that, you know, if we stay on the path of heading towards what we want, we'll find a way. The door will open. Things will evolve.
Yeah.
So disrupting doesn't mean, you know, running around and being abusive or loud or trying to upset the apple cart.
And in fact, the opposite is often disruptive, like being nice, as we talked about recently, being nice, being courteous, being on time, having integrity, like that's almost disruptive to what happens a lot. Which
is sad that is actually disruptive when it should be how we are normally. But I think disruptive is, doing those little things that most people won't do.
Mm-hmm.
The things that will get you a result. Like if you're writing a book, writing every single day, most people won't do it. If you're, submitting to publishers, dealing with rejection and keep going, most people wouldn't do that. If you're trying to get speaking gigs or you're trying to get media, he's doing that a little bit every day, even when you're not hearing a response from media platforms or you're getting rejections left, right, and center. Disrupting is just going, okay, well, I know what I want in my heart, and I know that the only way I'm going to get there is persistence, keep going when most people would have stopped. That's disruptive. These little thoughts, this belief that I'm actually good enough is disruptive, because most people don't believe that. So you're being disruptive, and I think this disruptive idea is what we really want to get across to you. If you want to live an exceptional life, you've got to break the mold.
Yeah, and there's something popped in my head when you were saying that I heard Ed Milet, who I really like, saying the other day, and he was talking about just one more. And so, as you're saying, like, I don't want to do it anymore. Just one more. Just write one more word. Just do one more push up. Do one more whatever, and that's gonna, over time, that's gonna add up.
And I love that. And I was listening to a podcast today, and it was just, I've just got to get through today.
Yeah.
I've got to survive. Just, if you have that mantra, I've just got to win today, get through today, succeed today, and stop thinking about 10 years, 5 years, or even next week. Because people that spend too much time in the future will never do what they need to do right now.
You have it there, well, not even there, but you have it there as where you want to go to. But yeah, the most important thing is what you're doing now to get towards in that direction.
Yeah.
Towards in that direction.
Mate, so you're disrupting the English language again. And we do that. We like disrupting. We did a podcast together, and we were talking about perception and perspective. and we couldn't work out what the difference between the two words. So I thought, well, there's only one solution.
Put them together.
We need to create a new word called perspection. So there it is, guys. We've disrupted the English language. You can use that word as much as you did. Perspection.
Done.
just means look at things in a disruptive way. That's our definition of perspection.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
So we've got to wrap up, Wally, because you've got to get the frog out of here.
I've got to go and do a workshop with some kids in the library.
Go and disrupt some kids' thinking. And this is the great thing that you do, Wally. I mean, what is your goal when you go in to talk to a group of kids?
I have a big overarching goal, but with the kids, it's part of it. If I'm driving today or to a school, what I'll do is I'm going to go in there and give these kids. I want this to be the best session that they have ever seen in their lives, like that they'll remember when they leave school, whatever. But just something that just gives them a highlight and gives them that and disrupts their daily routine that they're forced to do a lot as we are as kids. We're told to go to school and do our chores and do this and do this. And some of them, I went to one yesterday and said to one of the kids, "Oh, you like drawing?" He's like, "Nah, my mum forced me to come to this." And he ended up having a good time, but we're forced to do so much. And so, just giving them that break and that fun and that excitement. And I'm going to have an overarching goal of I want to influence, entertain, and inspire hundreds of millions of kids. And so that's my working towards that is giving the best session I can possibly do. And again, I can't control how they respond to what I do. All I can do is go and just give them all my attention, all my focus, really listen to them and just give them what I can.
And also inspire them to look at you and go, wow, if Adam, please don't take this the way.
Wow.
No, I don't mean it. I don't mean it. But if this guy can be this successful, then why can't I? And I'm the same. Like I'm sitting here saying, if Andrew Jobling can be like, if I can write a book, for goodness sake, anyone can do it. So our goal is to get people to think disruptively about, because the path most kids are on is, study hard and get good grades and then get a job and get a career and work for 40, 50 years and retire with a gold watch and a dead chook. And what a miserable existence. Well, you don't want a life chook, do you?
True, no, I'm vegetarian.
Anyway, so we're going to stop talking because we're probably disrupting your day right now, which is actually we want to do that.
Yeah.
But last final thing to say is, and by the time you're watching this, there's only a few days left before the early bird ends for the disruption effect that Adam and I are presenting on the 21st of October. 30th of September 2023, the early bird price finishes. But that's okay. If you miss the early bird price, doesn't matter. You just got to pay a bit more. That's okay. It's still worth coming to. It's going to be an awesome event on Saturday, the 21st of October from 1:30 to 4 p.m. in St Kilda in Melbourne, Australia. Afterwards, we're going to then go out and have some, social time and some together as a community and have fun and laugh and be inspired by a group of people that are way more inspiring than us two. We're just there to, I guess, bring people together. So hopefully you can make it if you're not in Melbourne. Hopefully you can still make it. It's worth a trip in October. It's a great time to be in Melbourne. And we hope that we've inspired you to disrupt your status quo, to do something different. Stay on the path, keep focusing on your book, getting published, get it out there. But what else beyond the book can you do? And that's all that is a thought, and the logical thought followed up by some logical action, and you can create anything you want. Any final words, mate?
No, I think you said it all. That was awesome.
See you guys.
Bye.